What is up, Unbound? Hello and welcome back to another community update. This is the show that will keep you in the know with everything that is going on in the Unbound community. I am your host, as always, David Rethemeyer, and Apex is coming up this month. August is always one of the most exciting months in the Unbound community. There is so much going on, so hopefully this show will give you an update on everything that you need to know that's going on. And as always, links to everything that I talk about today will be in the description down below. So first things first, of course, is Apex. If you have not already registered, then believe me, you are missing out, and Apex is just a couple short weeks away. We are super excited for it. If you want to build up even more excitement, I would highly recommend you go and check out last year's recap video. It is always fun to look at Apexes of the past before you go to the future Apex, which is going to be even more different and even more exciting. I have no doubt about that. In the meantime, there was a couple more announcements for Apex. We have the final round of alumni speakers that have been announced. So joining Jordan, Josh, Rachel, Kyle, and Lydia will be Ella Pritchard, Melissa Weber, Titus Schroeder, and Peyton Holiday. So there is going to be a ton of alumni sessions that I am sure are going to be excellent this year. So I cannot wait to see you all there at Apex. It is going to be a ton of fun. Over on the Be Unbound YouTube channel, we have the coloring pages video that those of you who are a Capstone probably remember. So that video is out now. Shout out to the media team who did a phenomenal job putting that together. It looks great, and you might hear a voice that sounds a little bit familiar in the background narrating it. Also on the channel, if any of you have heard about or curious about our new Equip and Explore programs, for those of you who are in Ascend that might not be aware of it, these are our high school programs that Unbound now offers. And Victoria has just put out a video on the channel with the help of the media team that really goes in and gives a better explanation of what those programs do and how people can benefit from them. So if you have anyone who might be curious about those programs, you can send them that video. So, as always, make sure that you are subscribed to the Be Unbound YouTube channel. There is going to be a ton of great stuff coming out, even through Apex and definitely after Apex. Right here on the podcast side of things, we are still sort of in our break in between seasons. Season 5, I can officially say, will be resuming on September 2nd. We will be coming back into releasing our regular episodes in full force in September, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, we are releasing our summer sessions that are all Apex themed. So we already had an episode come out where we featured all of the cabinet on the episode. And we just had an episode release with Jenny Randall, who I have to say, we've had a lot of amazing podcast guests. Jenny was absolutely fantastic. She did make me break out some accents, which was rather entertaining. But even aside from that, she also just had a wealth of amazing wisdom and was really fun to record with. So definitely check that one out. And we have also recorded a podcast episode with JJ Jasper, who will also be at Apex. And that episode is going to be coming out later this month as well, right before Apex. So make sure you stay tuned for that as well. Over on the forums, the Be Unbound forums, I am happy to announce that a new moderator team has been elected for the next 6 months. So congrats to Alex Coble, Daniel Smith, Isabel Alexander, and Victoria Cluth, who are all going to be serving as your forums moderators. So congratulations to them. We cannot wait to see what you come up with. And now, a brief break from the update for some, Michael, what are they called?
Words of Wisdom by David Rethemeyer.
A star has 5 points, but to make a convincing argument, you only need 1.
These are Words of Wisdom brought to you by David Rethemeyer.
And there you have it. Some words of wisdom to hopefully get you even more excited for this coming month. And if you're going to be coming to Apex, I won't say too much, but it sounds like there is going to be some additional opportunities for you to hear some more words of wisdom throughout that event. And last, but of course not least, we have our brand new section, the question for the community. If you guys missed out on last month's episode, then you know that what we are going to be doing now is that every episode I am going to ask the community a question, and the community can respond to that question and send me their funniest, most insightful, most inspirational answers by emailing me at podcast@beunbound.us. Now, I will say that for this first episode, I didn't get a ton of responses, but actually the Unbound staff had some of the best responses. So I gotta say, students, if you're listening to this, if you want to get featured and you don't want this to be us featuring the staff responses, you're going to have to step up your game. So here's some of the responses that we got from the Unbound staff. The question was, if you could only do one fun activity for the whole summer, what would you do? And the best responses that I got were first from Heidi, saying, I'd go kayaking in Florida Springs every day and probably get sunburnt. Worth it, though. That does sound like a lot of fun. Just make sure to bring all of the sunscreen. Megan says, I'd play an Apex. You know, I don't think that's what most of us would choose, Megan, but I think that I speak for all of us in the Unbound community when we say that we are very, very grateful that that is something that you enjoy. And Melissa says, a few natural laws aside, I would stay in the Pacific Ocean all summer, preferably around Hawaii. I'd also go to every museum in Europe, live in a pyramid, and go fishing in Alaska. Now, the question specifically asked for one activity, Melissa, but all of those things sound ridiculously cool, and they 100% fit you. So I am not at all surprised, and all of those sound great. But now, of course, we have a new question that is going to be featured in the September update. So if you would like to be featured in that update, then give your most insightful, funny, or entertaining answer to this question. If Apex were an acronym, what would it stand for? So if you have an answer that you would like to have featured on the next community update, make sure to email it to podcast@beunbound.us. And that will be all for this community update. Once again, super excited to be seeing you all in just a couple of weeks for Apex. And as always, stay unbound.